From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Board reconvene. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scrivener.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here.
Outstanding. We'll start off this morning's meeting with a salute to the flag by Mr. Mike Rao, followed by a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation.
Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, report on actions taken in closed session from Tuesday, November 1st.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last Tuesday on November 1st, the board continued items 28 and 29 to the afternoon and considered those in closed session. There was no reportable action taken on either item. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Moves us to the consent agenda. All items listed with a CA above the item number to be considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion if no member of the board or audience wishes to comment or ask questions. If comment or discussion is desired by anybody, the item may be removed from the consent agenda and may be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. Going through the consent agenda under departmental requests, items start off number 7, clerk of the board. Employees training resources, 8 and 9. Fire department is 10 through 13. Human services 14 and 15. Public health services 17 through 20. Environmental health division 21. Under sheriff's department, item number 22. Does any member of the public wish to make comment on any of these items?
Number 7 and 14.
Sir, if you'd like to make comment, you can make comment. You have 2 minutes.
Comments on all of the consent agendas?
Whatever you'd like to comment on the consent agenda, you have 2 minutes.
Well, I just wanted to call off the 7 and 14.
What we're going to do is we have a slight change. We're not going to pull items off. We're going to ask you to comment.
2 minutes for these items?
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to flat out refuse this rule.
Okay.
I mean, okay, number 7, you guys want to cut meetings down, 6 of them? Why don't you guys start talking a little bit more than just sitting there and letting the world crash? Okay, I mean, if we're going to get dumb like this where you can't call any consent agendas, this is just absurd. All right, number 7, Board of Supervisors meetings. You guys want to reduce it from 40 to 6? Thank you for limiting my time to speak to you. And here, let me get the notes here. Wow, that was quite a change here. I'm a little bit upset about it. Okay, here's some quick questions. Budget woes equals efficiency. Just because you guys have budget problems doesn't mean I don't get more time to talk to you at these meetings. At any one of the meetings that you're about to cut, somebody might come in and have a reason to come and talk to you. And then you guys whisk them in the back in the lobby and try and quiet the situation down. Okay. The next question. If you guys reduce meetings, you guys are going to have more long, tedious meetings when you do have the meetings. Okay. I'm tired when the meetings last 3 hours and 4 hours. Next question. Future. The future is declining, and so there's going to be more issues coming up, and you're just going to have to add meetings, okay? There's a KMC issue or this or that, and you guys are going to have to add another meeting. Oh, emergency, or wait 2 weeks in some cases. And lastly, you know, public access to your ears is being restricted. Since number 14, Just dropped my paper there. Oh, man. Number 14. This one's kind of funny. It's Mrs. Murphy. She's getting a 50-to-1 federal match so that she can incentivize people to go from welfare to work. Okay, you guys donate $100. Federal government's going to give you $4,900 so you guys can give away gift certificates so that people can go and attend this welfare to work program. Okay. The system is falling apart so much that you have to give gift cards for people to figure out how to go to work. Okay, the system is collapsing, and you guys don't have money, so you're accepting more federal dollars than that's where the money's coming from. Well, guess what? The federal government's $20 trillion in the hole. And what's going to happen when they cut that money to you guys? Okay, so honestly, you guys need to start looking someplace else and figuring out what you're going to do, besides just cut and do a circular firing squad with, the strategic initiatives. So I'm a little bit frustrated up here, but when you just say consent agendas are gone, 2 minutes to talk about whatever, I don't know. There's a reason why your meetings are less than 30 minutes, okay? It's because you guys aren't doing your jobs actively, just passively getting hammered. All right, I guess that's it. Sorry for wasting 30 seconds of your time going over the 2 minutes. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Fluhart.
Oh, by the way, David Fluhart, Havilah, 1st District.
Thanks, sir. Anyone else? Seeing none, bring it back to the board. Comments and thoughts, and a vote.
Motion on consent.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Brings us to item number 1, proclaim November 8th to the 14th, 2016 as Veterans Appreciation Week in Kern County. Supervisor Couch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion on the proclamation.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
Nothing's working for me today.
Can I assist you?
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Morning, guys. Morning, Dick. It's my honor and privilege to present this proclamation today. I'm going to say a couple words, read the proclamation, and turn it over to our Director of Veteran Services, Dick Taylor. Today is the week that we celebrate Veterans Day. Veterans Day is this Friday, November 11th, when we pay tribute to those who have honored us with their service and their sacrifice, their services and their sacrifices, I should say, plural. Many Kern County residents have paid the ultimate sacrifice in defending this country and our freedoms. Because of those sacrifices, to say that we owe them a debt of gratitude doesn't even really do it justice. So in recognition of our military personnel of this great nation, I want to read this proclamation into the record, honoring in some small way all of our Kern County veterans, and then I'll turn it over to Mr. Taylor. Proclamation reads, the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, has officially proclaimed November 8th through the 14th, 2016 as Veterans Appreciation Week in Kern County. And the recognition has been entered into the official board minutes signed by the Honorable Mick Gleason, a veteran himself. And it's dated today, November 8th, 2016. Mr. Taylor.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Dick Taylor, your County Veteran Service Officer, and what a great county we live in. I think the greatest county in the nation. It supports its veterans, supports its military, not only your board, but the entire community. And before I have a couple of our my fellow veterans, both men and women that are behind me, before I have a couple of them make comments, I just want to highlight a few things that are going on over the past week. Friday, your community recognized the sacrifices of Kern County's service members that were killed in action during the Korean War. There was a delegation from Bakersfield's sister city, Busan City, South Korea, that came here to lay a wreath at Jastrow Park at the Kern Veterans, the Korean War Veterans Memorial in honor of those that sacrificed. And one lady came up to one of our veterans and said, "If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here today because you saved my mom, and that's why I'm here." Back in the night during the Korean War. So we had that on Friday. Saturday was the great salute to our local heroes event at the Kern County Fairgrounds, sponsored by Wounded Heroes Fund. Today we have this. Thursday is the Marine Corps birthday. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And of course, Friday is the Veterans Day Parade, a well-attended event, a wonderful opportunity. And yesterday I had an opportunity to go to a school, and this is another great thing about Kern County. And other parts of the nation aren't doing this, but they're catching on. And that is how schools now have veteran recognition assemblies to pass that heritage and that legacy of the pride in taking care of their veterans and honoring their veterans. So I have two people that I would like to introduce that I'd like to say a few words. Casey Schabschlager, Marine Corps veteran, served during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and also Mr. Mike Sable, Marine Corps veteran that served during the Korean War. Casey.
Good morning, and thank you for this proclamation. It is an honor on behalf of all veterans, active, those who are deceased, to accept this, not only for our great county, but across the nation. And I wish there was more recognition like this across our great nation, as it shows our county is awesome. From when we have friends come in and from different states and participate with us in these things, they say, man, I really wish we had this back at home. Even the services that our county agencies provide, as well as Wounded Heroes Fund, it's just not seen. And it's a great honor to accept this. This is just a portion of what Kern County is standing before you. So thank you very much for that.
Casey, don't leave. You're a Marine?
Yes, sir. 2-5 infantry.
And married?
Yes.
Tell us about your wife. While you were deployed, you had a wife and you had kids?
No, sir.
No kids?
That was the best advice I ever got, was going single, rich, single, rich, and no ties. And I didn't meet my wife until after the Marine Corps. And I was medically retired.
How about your mom and dad? I want the people to understand it's not just you. It's a support system that is supporting you. And who are those people?
Starting with my wife, to answer your first question just really quick, I know military marriage can be very hard, but I think my wife had it really, really hard. She met me the first weekend I was out. After my injuries, we wrote letters while I was in the hospital still. And she's put up with a great deal of crap that I've thrown at her in the last, there's times where I thought she was gonna leave and give up, and she never did. And because of that, and the support system I have here locally with other combat veterans, and as well as these fine ladies and men standing behind me at the Wounded Heroes Fund, I couldn't do it without them. And appreciation is always great, but having a brother there to lean on is even better, just to get through the day-to-day tasks sometimes. My mother and father were very willing to accept me and be there for me and try to understand, but there came a time that said, we need to buck up. We need to find work. You need to get your mind elsewhere. And they did a really good job of doing that for me. And I really appreciate my mother and father for walking me through those steps.
I'm really proud of you, Casey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
My name is Michael Sable, and President of the Korean War Veterans Association here in Bakersfield. Very privileged to wear the uniform and do my part in helping our community develop the programs that have been very essential. We have been very fortunate within this community because of your leadership, dedication, not only to the community, but the veterans here in Kern County. And the unique thing about our programs is that we are one of the only areas that has the type of information and programs available for veterans. And everyone here, I say, deserves a round of applause for all their efforts and everything that they put forward. So with that, very simply, God bless you. Semper Fi.
God bless you, sir.
Just so this doesn't become the never-ending story, but could I get everybody that's in our audience that's a veteran to please stand? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice work.
This place is loaded with Marines today. What's up with that?
Hoorah!
It's terrible. Okay. Tough to beat that one. Number 2 is proclaimed number 9 through 15, 2016 as Marine Corps Week in Kern County. Supervisor Perez.
It's my pleasure and honor. Motion on proclamation.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved, all ayes.
Gentlemen. God, you guys look sharp. Thank you. Wow. Good morning, Chairman Gleason, members of the board. It is truly a remarkable privilege to be able to proclaim this morning, November 9th through the 15th, 2016, as Marine Corps Week here in Kern County. The United States Marine Corps was established on November 10th, 1775, and has been America's finest front line of defense in readiness ever since. Marines have deployed worldwide to respond swiftly in times of crisis from the air, land, and sea from every corner of this world. The Marine Corps has dutifully accomplished above and beyond all that this nation has asked of them. We remain mindful, of course, especially on Election Day, that we can celebrate our democracy and diversity because of the sacrifices of the men and women who stand here today, and for many others who for 241 years have worn this uniform to preserve our freedoms against enemies both foreign and domestic. Thank you to all of those who have served, and may God bless all of you and your families, in particular those currently deployed around the world. On behalf of the Board of Supervisors, I would like to commend and thank you, our very own Marine, Dick Taylor, the one and only, for the work that he has done and his sacrifice and service to this community, its veterans, their families, and the community that loves them. Chairman and members of the board, I am honored to join you today as we proclaim November 5th through the 9th through the 15th. It's Marine Corps Week here in Kern County. Board of Supervisors officially proclaims November 9th through the 15th as Marine Corps Week in Kern County, and this recognition has been officially entered into the board minutes and signed by our own beloved veteran chairman, Mick Gleason. Dick?
Thank you. Thank you, Supervisor Perez. It's my pleasure to introduce Staff Sergeant Ricardo Guerrero with the Marine Corps Recruiting Station on the east side, where I'm from. You can introduce your staff as well. Staff Sergeant Guerrero.
Good morning. My name is Staff Sergeant Guerrero. I'm the station commander for Recruiting Substation Bakersfield East. The Marines that you see behind me are the newest addition to the recruiting team. We have Staff Sergeant Walker, Sergeant Castaneda, Sergeant Munoz, and Sergeant Pope, who is a Bakersfield native. He has been here pretty much throughout his whole career. We're very honored for having you, for having been invited to receive this proclamation. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the Marine Corps and what it is that we do here for your community. Out here working in Bakersfield for the past 3 years, I think that this is hands down one of the best places I've ever had the opportunity to work when it comes to the community and this community support. When I was asked to speak to you about the importance of the Marine Corps to this nation's national security, I could only think of one thing: the Marine Corps' mission. The first and foremost is to make Marines. Since November 10, 1775, men have heard the call to serve this nation and earned the title of United States Marine. Your Marines spent countless hours in your communities and your schools speaking to publics and assisting the community events whenever possible. They maintain the reputation of our Corps. We, as part of the recruiting effort, are the first to maintain the end strength of the Marine Corps, and we make the most elite warriors. The second part of our mission: since the day it was formed, the Marine Corps has been committed to winning our nation's battles, fighting determinedly in every one of our nation's conflicts, by air, land, and sea. The Marine Corps is America's premier expeditionary force, to be a force in readiness when the nation is least ready. The last of this mission is to develop quality citizens. As you can see, the individuals that just went before us, that's very important to the Marine Corps. The core values that guide us: honor, courage, and commitment. Develop the leadership skills that enable us not only to make for outstanding Marines, they make for outstanding citizens as well. The promise that the Marine Corps makes to develop quality citizens is demonstrated by the way we take care of our own. Whether a Marine remains in the Marine Corps for an entire career or only stays in for 4, they retain the benefits, keeping our nation safe and free. There are few reputations more deserved than earning the title of United States Marine, and few endeavors as fulfilling. This is the cornerstone of the Marine Corps' first promise to our nation. To pass through our gates is to set out on a noble cause. We make Marines with the training and principles to face down the threats. Our enlisted Marines and commissioned officers, every Marine is part of the same storied legacy and is vital to the Marine Corps mission. On November 10th, we celebrate our 241st birthday here in this nation. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Supervisor Perez, Chairman Gleason. I would like to invite your board and the community to our annual Marine Corps birthday celebration at your Kern County Veteran Service Department, starting at 8 in the morning. From 8 to 9:45, we'll serve the traditional, outstanding SOS breakfast. And if you don't know what that means, you can ask somebody and they'll tell you. And then starting at 10, our ceremony begins where will be a presentation of the colors by Marine Corps Color Guard, the garrison flag from the fire department, as well as the bagpipe band from Highland High School will be there playing. And we also serve the traditional cake cutting, where we serve the first piece of cake to the oldest Marine present and the second piece of cake to the youngest Marine present. You're all invited. That's 10 o'clock. On Thursday, November 10th, and it's at 1120 Golden State Avenue here in Bakersfield, and the public's invited. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Outstanding. Brings us to number 3. Proclaim November 13th and 19th, 2016 as Nurse Practitioner Week in Kern County. Supervisor Scrivener.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to approve.
Second. Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, so am I presenting to Andrea? Is that right, or who am I?
No, it's Leslie Blomquist. Andrea's the next one.
Oh, Andrea's the next, okay. I'm sorry, what'd you name?
Leslie Blomquist.
Got it. Well, good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. The profession of nurse practitioner was created in the 1960s to address a critical shortage of medical doctors. Public health nurse Loretta Ford and her colleague, Dr. Henry Silver, envisioned a greater role for specially trained nurses and created the first nurse practitioner education program in Colorado. They established the role of nurse practitioner as a competent care provider able to meet the increasing demand for more healthcare providers, stabilize rising healthcare costs, and address an inefficient distribution of health resources. Nurse practitioners provide safe and competent primary, acute, and specialty healthcare. Today, there are over 18,995 nurse practitioners in the state of California and 264 serving Kern County. 129 nurse practitioners completed the graduate nursing program at California State University, Bakersfield between 1996 and 2015. And the majority of these graduates have remained in Kern County to serve in the advanced practice role, acting leaders within the healthcare community. And I'd like to invite Leslie Longquist up here. I want to present this to you. And so this proclamation is the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, has officially proclaimed November 13th through 19th, 2016 as Nurse Practitioner Week in Kern County, and this recognition has been entered into our official minutes, signed by our Honorable Chairman. And I know we have lots of folks behind us. Maybe you could introduce them and who they are and say a few words. Thank you so much for the service that you provide to our community.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Come on up.
Can I give these to you?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman Gleason, Supervisors Couch, Maggard, Perez, and Scrivener, and department staff. My name is Leslie Blomquist, Leslie Bloomquist. I'm the current president of the Kern Tulare chapter for the California Association for Nurse Practitioners. I'm also a women's health care nurse practitioner, and I work in the OBGYN department at Kaiser Permanente. Representing the Kern Tulare chapter of CANP, I would like to thank you for proclaiming November 13th through 19th, 2016 as Kern County Nurse Practitioner Week. Some background on nurse practitioners. All nurse practitioners started as registered nurses and then went on for further education and advanced training. Entry level for a nurse practitioner is a master's degree, but many have doctoral degrees in nursing practice or research. Nurse practitioners have national certification in their specialty. They're registered with the Board of Registered Nurses and the DEA. I myself started out with my bachelor's in nursing, worked for Kern County in the health department for 20 years, and then went back to school. Graduated from Harbor UCLA as a women's healthcare nurse practitioner, and then received my master's degree in nursing from CSU Long Beach. Some of my classes were taken here at CSUB, but at that point, I transferred to CSU Long Beach because we didn't have a nurse practitioner program in Bakersfield at that time. CSUB does have a family nurse practitioner program at this time, as Mr. Scrivener said, graduating 129 nurse practitioners in their tenure and have 18 students in the cohort currently. Represented here today are a few of the 264 nurse practitioners in Kern County, CSUB professors, Kaiser Permanente nurse practitioners, Clinica Sierra Vista, Kern County, Bakersfield City Schools, and Omni Health. We have nurse practitioners in all specialty clinics in Kern County, OBGYNs, pediatricians, cardiologists, the local hospitals, to name a few, private medical offices, and in all the community clinics run by the county, Clinica Sierra Vista, and Omni clinics, all taking care of the residents of Kern County. California nurse practitioners are currently restricted from full practice by California's laws that mandate physician supervision, although we have been educated to do exams, order testing, provide prescriptions without supervision. We're not allowed to do so. Community clinics such as Clinica Sierra Vista and Omni, both of which struggle to keep physicians in the Central Valley, can't hire more nurse practitioners without the physicians to supervise them. And when a physician leaves, 4 nurse practitioners are left inactive and unable to continue their excellent services. There are 21 states that do have full practice authority, but California is not one of them. Research has shown that nurse practitioners' healthcare outcomes are equal to physicians' care outcomes. Nurse practitioners are very well versed in care management and work collaboratively with a healthcare team. We emphasize preventative care, health education, and early detection of problems, which saves healthcare dollars, but more importantly, lives. Nurse practitioners can improve healthcare access by doing the initial evaluations of patients entering care and either continuing care for low-complexity patients or referring the higher complexity patients to physicians. The 264 nurse practitioners in Kern County, each seeing an average of 20 to 25 patients a day, provide excellent health care to approximately 5,300 Kern County residents every day. We are important members of the healthcare team and a clear solution for patient-centered, accessible health care. Thank you very much for your recognition of nurse practitioners in Kern County and for this proclamation. I'm honored to receive it as representing the nurse practitioners in Kern County. We also brought some nurse practitioner ribbons for next week if anybody wants to wear them, and some pamphlets about nurse practitioners. And I would like to introduce my fellow members, or maybe actually have you come up and say your name and where you're from. And
I'm Emily Kimball. I've been in Kern County working for Clinica Sierra Vista for 3 years.
I'm Annie Nguyen. I'm a nurse practitioner, professor at Cal State Bakersfield. I also work as an emergency room nurse practitioner in order to keep my license as well as my expertise so I can teach.
Hi, I'm Kristen Legit, and currently I'm a registered nurse, been serving Bakersfield for 13 years in home health, and I'm currently part of CSUB's nurse practitioner program, so I'm glad to be part of that, so thank you.
I'm Teresa McFarland. I am a nurse practitioner in the United States Navy Reserve, and I also work as a nurse practitioner at the Bakersfield City School District.
I'm Deanna Salyards. I'm a nurse practitioner. I work with Dr. Kubo at Golden Valley Medical Associates. I've been in healthcare for 33 years in Bakersfield, and 16 of those as a nurse practitioner.
All right.
thank you very much. Could we get a picture? Could we get a picture with you?
Absolutely.
Next up is item number 4, proclaim November 2016 as Diabetes Awareness Month in Kern County. Supervisor Meyer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to approve.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Hi.
Is it Andrea or
Andrea. Yeah, close. Yep, yeah, you got it.
Good morning, colleagues. Some people wonder why we present so many proclamations. Sometimes we do it to say thank you, but oftentimes we do it because we are trying to bring the public's attention to an issue about which they can make a difference. And this is certainly an issue about which the public can make a difference. We're going to proclaim today that November 2016 is Diabetes Awareness Month in Kern County. I'm joined here by Andrea Crittenden, who is a dietetic intern with Clinica Sierra Vista.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you.
She has a great handshake.
Oh. I get told that a lot.
Yeah, it's a good handshake. Diabetes affects 29 million Americans, and another 86 million Americans have prediabetes. And in Kern County, over 50% of the people in Kern County either have diabetes or prediabetes. And imagine that half the people in this room will be affected by diabetes personally during their lifetime. It is a disease that profoundly, if not managed well, profoundly changes the lives of the people who suffer from it. My mother is a long-term chronic diabetes sufferer, and it has tremendous effects on people's lives. So we are grateful for your help. I'd like to read you this proclamation, and then tell us a little bit about what will happen during the week, okay? Okay. So this is a proclamation from the Board of Supervisors on behalf of the County of Kern and the State of California. We have officially proclaimed November 2016 as Diabetes Awareness Month in Kern County, entered into our minutes by the signature of our chairman, the Honorable Mick Gleason, on this, the 8th day of November 2016. Thank you very much for what you're doing. Look forward to the difference you're going to be able to make in people's lives. Please tell us a little bit about what can be done.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for proclaiming November American Diabetes Month. As he said, my name's Andrew Crittenden, and I'm a dietetic intern at Clinica Sierra Vista, and I actually finish my training next month and sit for a national exam to become a registered dietitian. So I'm almost there. My profession is passionate about food, the science and behavior surrounding nutrition, health promotion, and prevention and wellness. The goals of American Diabetes Month are to increase awareness of diabetes and highlight prevention and treatment, along with resources and programs within the area and the community. Over 46% of Californian adults have prediabetes, and when you combine it with diabetes, it's close to 60% of people who are affected. My generation is expected to have 1 in 3 with type 2 diabetes, and unless we make a positive change to our health and community, there needs to be a difference. I am certain everyone in here knows someone who has been affected with diabetes. Have it be your coworker, a family member, or a friend. There's somebody out there. So what can we do? We can promote access to qualified health professionals within the community, such as registered dietitians and certified diabetes educators. And if your provider forgets to refer you, you can always ask for prescription. We can eat what we grow, so we can utilize our local sources of fresh fruits and vegetables in the area. We can take advantage of the days that are nice, go for a walk outside, and move our bodies, and we can remind retirees to utilize their yearly Medicare coverage to see registered dietitians and certified diabetes educators. So thank you for bringing awareness to diabetes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You can have this.
Perfect. Can I get a picture? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well done.
Thank you. That brings us to item number 5, public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on this agenda but under the jurisdiction of the board. Board members may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. They may ask a question for clarification, make a referral to staff for factual information, or request staff to report back to the board at a later meeting. Also, the board may take action to direct staff to place a matter of business on a future agenda. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state and spell your name before making a presentation.
Yes, good morning, David Fluhart, Havilah 1st District. You want me to spell it out? You just said, should I spell it out? Do you want me to spell it out?
Yes.
DAVIDJAMESFLUHART. I'll make that note from now on. So I got 2 minutes for presentations. I wanted to mention the veterans and the Marines. I appreciate them. Today's election day. We wouldn't have that without them. And I wouldn't have this podium to talk to you if it wasn't for them. Now, of course, you can reduce that to 34 times a year from 40, but hey, you know, we're in a budget crisis and we need to do this and that. So not necessarily making the situation better in the right direction, but it's up to you, right, Captain McGee? Anyways, I want to say thank you to the veterans, and moving on, there's an issue with the Veterans Association, you know, the federal level of the veterans. It kind of sucks. And anyways, I have a friend that was a drill instructor for the Marines, and he's pushed all of thousands of young men into combat and told them what to do and everything. When they come home, there isn't as much support as it should be, and one direct angle I'm going at is marijuana. under our perfect little system, we give them a whole bunch of big pharmaceutical drugs and they start killing themselves or do this or do that, you know? It's a little bit of a problem, and I'm just talking sincerely to you. What's the board going to do about it? Are you guys going to take a stand? Are you going to change the direction? Are you guys just going to come up here and say, hey, we appreciate you, have fun with your pharmaceutical drugs? Okay, you guys going to lead from the front or just get rolled over? Now, after presentations, number 6 is board members' announcements. You guys are all upset about having meetings less than 30 minutes because, hey, guess what? It's your meeting. You guys get to do the direction. You write your own agenda, and you guys still fail. Now, I enjoin you that under the next item, you guys talk about something. Don't just say, hey, you know, happy, I'm moving on, okay? I don't know. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Todd Dearmore, D's and David, E-A-R-M-O-R-E. And I'd like to thank the chairman and members of the board allowing me to speak. First of all, I'd like to thank the veterans, not only for my freedoms, but the freedom of my children and future grandchildren. And one thing about freedom is we don't have to like what people say, but they have a right to say it. And I appreciate you guys serving our county. And with that said, I want to talk to you about Camp Hamilton Veterans Memorial Park. We're about a mile east of the Laredo Detention Facility and east of Highway 65 from Laredo Highway. We're a living memorial park. We have about 10 acres of land, hundreds and hundreds of trees, and every tree has a soldier's name that has passed away. If they were killed in action, we donate the tree. If not, we take donations. If the family can afford it, we take care of the trees for life. We also have a shooting range, and we have a paintball course, and I'm in the process of trying to get an archery range. More importantly, when the men and women, doesn't matter if they just came back from service or they served 30 years ago and they need help now, they can stay at our place for free. I'm trying to get some temporary living hooches for them. And we're not big potatoes, we're small potatoes, but we're in Kern County and we're proud. If anybody has any way that wants to help, I'll give you our website. I just wanted to tell you that I'm very proud of Kern County and the way they support our veterans. We haven't done a good enough job of letting people know what we do. Do not want to take away from anybody else, any veteran services, but if you care to use us, have a sanctuary to decompress, the brotherhood, do some therapy out there. We're there for you and at zero cost. We have a barbecue. I'll make this quick, my time's up. We have a barbecue Friday at 2 o'clock. It's free, tri-tip, sandwiches, the whole fixin', soda pop. And if I could, just 10 more seconds, I'll be done. I'd like to thank the Kern County Detention Officer Associations for donating, along with Valley Bible Fellowship, Trinity Food Services, Inland Crop Dusting, E&B Natural Resources, and Susie Q Catering. Our website is www.camphamilton.org. I apologize for going over. Thank you for your time.
Don't apologize. I have a couple questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about you. You're married? Got a wife?
I'm married. I had 8 years in the Army National Guard Infantry and 22 years as a detention sergeant at the Laredo Detention Facilities.
So this facility is designed for veterans. What services do you have or will you have or are you thinking of having for their families, spouses, moms, dads, sons, daughters, anything like that? Or is it just focused on the veteran?
No, it's for the entire family. If you came out, you're a veteran, you have 100 people with you, the land, so you can use it for barbecues, you can use it for meetings, you can use it for campouts. It's beautiful, it's trees, the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts that used it. It's a resource. We have something to give at zero cost, and we don't get funding, and we just do our best to keep our head above water.
Slowly, could you say the website again, please?
I'm nervous, I apologize. It's www.camphamilton.org. It's HAMILTON.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chairman Gleason. Dick Taylor, your Kern County Veteran Service Officer. I was asked this morning by Mr. Tim Terrio to invite your board and the public to an event that he is promoting this Saturday here at this complex. It's the, and I have a copy for each one of the members of the board. America, Home with the Free Because of the Brave. It's the Veterans Health and Wellness Fair. It's free for veterans. So it's November 12th, Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. here at the Kern County Administrative Center at 1115 Truxtun Avenue. There'll be health screenings, health and wellness speakers. You've probably heard of TED Talks, little 10-minute talks. They're going to be right here in these chambers. Lunch and entertainment provided by Foster Campbell and Friends. So there's no charge for veterans, but RSVP is required, and the public or veterans can RSVP at www.myterrio.com/veterans, and Terrio is spelled T-E-R-R-I-O. Sponsored by the Diane Lake family, Dignity Health, Centric Healthcare, Central Cardiology Medical Clinic, Terrical Physical Therapy, and Channel 23, and we're looking forward to it. And it'll be a great day. And I've got copies for you.
Thanks.
And Mr. Terrio wanted to be here. At the last minute, he had a change, and he asked me if I could come and present this, and I'm happy to do it.
Thanks, Taylor. Anybody else? Public presentations? Seeing none, bring it back to the board for board member announcements. I have one. Mr. Fluhat asked some questions about board member reduction and board member meetings, which we were about to vote on. Total cost of savings. Could we run that to ground?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, the cost savings are going to be mostly related to costs that are already incurred, but you can redirect your efforts to other activities. There's not going to be a real hard dollar savings.
So the savings is we have all these department heads who are sitting here in this meeting.
Correct.
They're going to be out doing their job instead of having to come here every week. There'll be less opportunity.
That's
Thank
correct.
You. Appreciate it. Anybody else?
Just a reminder to vote today. Election.
Supervisor Perez, what was that?
Just a reminder to vote today, Election Day.
Thank you, Supervisor Perez. Brings us to item number 16 on the mental health services. Proposed name change for the Kern County Mental Health Department to Behavioral Health and Recovery Services. Mr. Walker.
Thank you and good morning, Chairman Gleason, members of the board. Bill Walker, hopefully you're soon-to-be Behavioral Health and Recovery Services Director, and apparently a Marine Corps photographer. Before we start, I always loved Dick Taylor's presentations, and my brother was a Marine Corps, served in Vietnam, and my father was in the Army in World War II, and my grandfather was a brigadier general in World War II, and he's the only general in World War II that was killed by small arms fire, because 30 days after D-Day, when they were trying to get through the hedgerows in France, he actually went forward to lead troops directly into the battle line to try to move that forward. And you could actually look up his name, Brigadier General Nelson Macy Walker, and you'll find that the story of his death was written by his lieutenant, Nelson Macy Walker, my father. So my father served for my grandfather, and in the way the Army is, the closest, it's your aide that ends up writing the story. So you could look it up, and my father's story of his father's death is searchable. Again, good morning. Today what I'm bringing before you is a proposal to change our logo and our name from Kern County Mental Health Department to the Kern County Behavioral Health and Recovery Services Department. Now, the reason why we're doing this is for several reasons. One, the industry standard for combining mental health and substance use is behavioral health, is the current name. Approximately, I think I just looked up, I was sitting here, you'll find over 20 of the current 58 counties use behavioral health in their title. So the industry standard model for services and culture is actually recovery, and so we've included both recovery and behavioral health in our title. We also did a stakeholder process with our staff, agencies, peers, and families, and this was the universally chosen name as we honed it down from several options. The public has become more and more recognizing of mental health and substance use services combined and sees that as behavioral health. Like Kern Medical, this also gives us an opportunity to enhance our rebranding and stigma reduction efforts. And the logo actually works much better for us in print applications. We professionally went after a logo that when you shrink it or enlarge it, it still works very well in whatever media you want to use it in. On the fiscal impact, there is no general fund impact. We are not a general fund account, and most of the changes we're doing are consumable products. Your business cards, your stationery, that sort of thing. And so we've stopped our ordering several months ago so that we would deplete and be able to order as we would new stock. There will be some signage change, but most of our changes in signs now are actually electronic on our web and some of those other locations. So, therefore, it is recommended that your board approve the proposed name change from Mental Health Department to Behavioral Health and Recovery Services and refer to County Council for preparation of the ordinances. And the County Administrative Office concurs with this request, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Thank you, Mr. Walker. We'll get back to you. Just grab a seat. We may have some questions for you. Let's open the public for any comment.
David Fluhart, D-A-V-I-D-J-A-M-E-S, F-L-U-H-A-R-T, Havilah, 1st District. I remember a while ago, the sheriff sent some handlers to me to ask if I'd go to mental health and check in with them. And I love the idea. I love going to mental health. A big shout out to all my doctors I got and Dr. Paz. And to me, it's from my mouth to the sheriff's ear. You know, I even tell Mr. Walker there, LMFT, to, I want the sheriff to know what I'm saying, because what I'm doing, you know, I have an angle here. Anyways, so we're talking about mental health department versus behavioral health and recovery services. I'm a big fan, did my shout out. Said marketing. I remember when KMC had their big ceremony, and towards the end there, I didn't quite understand the momentum of Mayor Hall's statement, but he made the strongest statement to say it's all about marketing, And that's interesting. I guess behavioral health and recovery services sounds better than mental health. I personally like using mental health because it makes people like, oh, is he crazy? Is he saying stupid stuff because he's crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I got the sheriff's stamp of approval that I'm not crazy. Anyways, sounds better. I'd personally like to skip the health part. You know, if it was just behavioral and recovery services, I think it'd be quicker, easier. You know, I like it better that way. And as far as recovery services, you guys need, or I think there's a direction that needs to be changed, and once again, marijuana, you guys need to reassess, redefine, and retool it to become an aspect of a solution, not part of the problem. And you know, I look at their nice little design there that I guess is better for printing. It's got 3 leaves there, and it reminds me of the first sentence on the last page of the Bible, which is, the leaves of the tree shall heal the nations. Now, I don't know what leaves those are, and I wish Mr. Walker the best of luck in what he's doing. And you know, I hope you guys talk about it and think about it. Otherwise, have fun with what you're doing. In the afternoon, we're going to hear about the sheriff getting patrol cars, and I'm going to ask if it's the cute Caprices or the Explorers with armored doors. Hey, if you're not going to push karma good, you're going to get what you get. And the sheriff's going to have to live with that. It's just part of society. I mean, it's up to you guys. I'm just one person out here talking stupid, trying to fill up 30 minutes so you guys don't cut meetings. I don't know. Time hasn't started, so I well imagine I'm over 2 minutes. I'm a little bit upset. Sorry about it. I was a little bit frazzled with your new decision to push me 2 minutes in the beginning. Trust me, that's more than enough time to talk about how you're broken, busted, and going the wrong direction, and line up the rest of the meeting from there. All right, thank you. You guys have a good day. See you again. Oh, real quickly, because I would want to talk about items number 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. After this item, please don't just call the meeting to an end and leave. I would like to call 23 through 27. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other items for public comment on item number 16? We'll close public session, bring it back to the board for comment.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I see Supervisor.
Supervisor,
Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Walker, you really have taken this department into the 21st century vis-a-vis all that's happening around the state. We know that wraparound services and addressing dual diagnoses, substance abuse, treating it as the mental health issue that it is and the disease that it is. So I am so grateful for that because you really have elevated the department. You have a great team, of course, that makes that possible, but it's been under your leadership. So I'm really, really excited about it. We know the changes that are going on around the country around opioid addiction, and I know you're on the cutting edge of the best treatment, the way in which to transition our department so that we are in the best position to bring home the most amount of money and also continue to demonstrate to the state through AB 109 and other ways that we really are on the cutting edge and employing the absolute best practices. So I'm thrilled about this. I think it's very positive. I think it takes into consideration the reality that we know science is now teaching us. And so thank you. Appreciate your leadership and very excited to make the motion on staff's recommendation.
Second.
Motion is second. Please cast your votes.
Please reconfirm your vote. Thank you. The motion is approved. All ayes.
Outstanding. That brings us to the end of the open session. Mr. Nations, would you please comment on Mr. Fluhart's comments about an opportunity to speak on closed session? I don't think he can do that, but I defer to you.
Mr. Chairman, by definition, a closed session is closed. It's not open to the public. And so I'm not aware of any exception under the Brown Act that would allow a member of the public to comment on a closed session item prior to the closed session being held.
Thank you, sir. Considering your sound counsel, we are going to adjourn to closed session.